Hi, Dr. Peter Coleman. I'm a board-certified addiction medicine specialist, retired physician, and we're talking about the four important parts of the brain. And the second part we're going to talk about today is the memory circuits. So after a dopamine spike happens in the reward system because of drug use, messages immediately go to the memory circuits of the brain. And of course, this makes so much sense because since the reward system is there for basic needs of food and sex, you wouldn't want for people who were hunters and gatherers to have come across an incredible supply of food only to forget where the heck they were and then starve to death. So when it comes to survival, we create especially strong memories for anything that gives us a strong dopamine spike. And that especially happens with drug abuse. Um, Also, we create associated memories. So everything that was associated with the dopamine spike or the drug use that caused it, we also create memories. So for instance, if we go out to a nice restaurant and we have a delicious meal, we not only remember the meal, how good that felt, we also remember the people that we were with, the music, the ambient lighting, everything that was associated with it. And those associated memories become triggers. When it comes to drug use, we create thousands of associated memories because think of someone who's using opioids 3 times a day. They not only have the memories of the drug use itself, they have the memories of getting the money to get the drugs, driving to get the drugs, maybe selling some drugs to have some money, the people they're using the drugs with, the setting that they're in, not only the drug use itself. So all of these associated memories get created. And since drug use often goes on for a long time, they get deeper and deeper memories and very, very strong. So these associated memories cause extremely strong triggers. And I believe they're one of the most important reasons why people relapse. We'll talk a little bit about how triggers cause a dopamine spike by themselves in a later video. Pavlov, who had his famous experiment with dogs, showed exactly how this was working in the brain. I don't think he knew that he was creating a dopamine spike in the brain of his dogs, but he, remember, rang a bell and gave food to the dogs. And after only a few times of pairing these things together, the dogs, when they heard the bell, started expecting the food and they started salivating and getting excited. And what he was doing was creating these associated memories that were extremely strong and making triggers and making the dogs want the food. He found that he could extinguish those by just not giving the food. And after a little bit, the dogs would just ignore the bell because it was like, oh, well, there's no food coming. But if he gave them food again later, he found that there were really deep memories that were still there, even after a while. And we see basically the same thing happening in what happens to the brain in addiction. So those associated memories get created, they're very strong, but even if we don't use for a long time, deep down, there are still very, very powerful memories that can get rekindled and restarted back again extremely easily. That's why people have to be very careful for the rest of their lives in order to stay clean and sober and have complete freedom.